How we going, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. This is going to be a nice, easy one tonight. This is part 3 of my Overkill retrospective series. Part 2 was long overdue. I think it was actually a year between part 1 and part 2, so I wasn't going to leave it till that long to do part 3. So you're going to get it done and up to date, and then you've got the Overkill retrospective in 3 parts. If this is your first viewing, feel free to go down into the comments section. There's a link to the Overkill playlist, and you can watch part 1 and part 2 there, plus the initial review and unboxing of Scorched. So let's get into it. 2010. This is going to be really easy, to be honest. It's all, without giving away any spoilers, it's basically all awesome. Right. 2010. Ironbound. This is pretty much... this is the band's Brave New World. I think Iron Maiden's Brave New World is a perfect example of an album where a band finds that it's the starting period of a band's second wave. Many bands, may reform after a breakup, or in Maiden's case, like a lineup reforming. The band didn't exactly break up, but a band that's been going, for a certain amount of time will find a second wave of popularity, but they also find but then that also means a second wave of creative. They find another creative golden age, basically, and I think this marks the beginning of Overkill's second golden age. And yeah, just like Brave New World, it's just that marker. Right, we're back. We're back where we should be, and this sees Overkill coming full circle, making albums as good as the first 5, whilst what's gone on in this period that we covered in part 2. So what's this? 1995 to 2007. Experimental is not really the word, but there was a lot of chopping and changing, and there was a lot of experimenting. Really, there was a lot of trying out different styles, textures, production. Metal was going through a transitional phase at that point anyway, so everyone was at it. And what they've done on Ironbound is come back to pure thrash metal. All out, no doubts. This is thrash, but they've applied what they've learned along the way. And yeah, so they've come back to the first 4 albums, or 5. I'd say first 5 albums up to Horoscope. No, it's not. I always say Horoscope. It is a Horoscope. Yeah. What do I made a mistake on my last video. I think I said Necroscope. Necroscope is a series of books, vampires, a vampire series. But Horoscope. I'd say, what should we say? Yeah, Field of Fire up until Horoscope is the first golden age. And then, Ironbound marks the new second Iron Age. Everything is full circle on this album. Everything great about Overkill is encapsulated, and everything they've picked up along the way. What hasn't worked has been dropped, and what has worked has been kept and just moulded together to make a perfect Overkill album. This album is a beast as well. It's like an hour long, just under an hour long. Opening with the Green and Black, and again, I say a perfect album. It's a perfect opener. It starts off brilliantly, kind of similar, a bit like think Battery by Metallica. It opens just with a single, a couple of bass notes, dun, 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 and then some guitar comes in, and then drums, and then it just builds up and builds up. So each layer of the music sort of builds up on top of each other until you've got, full blast assault on the senses, and then and then you got the opening riff. So I suppose, and the live show at that point, that bit part of the music must have been played through the tannoy, and then when that riff kicks in, you'll have like spotlight on one guitarist, and then drums, and then the band explode into life. But excuse me, there's just so much going on in a single track. I mean, it's quite a long song as well. I think it's about 8 minutes, over 8 minutes long. But It's got everything. Thrashing riffs, pummeling drums, big giant choruses. There's a nice little slow part in the middle with a nice little bass solo. A blistering guitar solo at the end. And yeah, it just all climaxes together. And then kicks into another classic song, the title track, Ironbound. Awesome song. Awesome. It was around this time, Luke, who I do Maidencast with, actually gave me a Overkill CD a few years ago. I don't know if he gave me an album. Well, what he gave me was like a copy CD with all the tracks written on. And I don't know if he made me a compilation or just gave me an album. But I remember, I think Bobby's voice kind of rubbed me up the wrong way at the time. I think Bobby is one of those singers that you either take to him or you don't. And I think there would be some people who go, yeah, the music's good, but I can't get into the singer. And I've heard people say that about Rush. I've heard people say that about King Diamond, Merciful Fate and King Diamond. You know, some people just don't take to certain vocalists. And I can see Bobby being one of them people. But, you know, it works for me. But at first, it probably didn't. And it was when Ironbound came out, it was this song that won me over. It was like, yeah, I got this band wrong. I need to get back into them again. So this is where I sort of touched base and then filled in the gaps and went from there. But it's easy to forget as well because Ironbound is quite a straight ahead song. But I think a lot of people forget you've got this beautiful little melodic section followed by a solo in the middle of it. So it sort of starts off as quite a typical thrash metal song really with a really big chorus. And it's got like the AC/DC sort of swagger to it as well with the sort of attitude. But yeah, in the middle of that song, it's it's another quite a long song. You'd think it was like a bit of a 4 minute, like 4.5 minute, but no, it's at 6.5 minutes. And there's this beautiful little melodic section in the middle of it. It quietens down and then, builds back up again with this fucking fantastic solo. And then kicks back in for one final chorus. But yeah, it's great. Bring Me the Night is another good thrasher. Basically, the pace is upheld with that. The Goal was a really nice melodic intro. I mentioned Battery earlier, but that is in a similar sort of way. Nice dark riff building up in the same way as Sanitarium, But yeah, really good. The melodic intro sort of blends into the song, if you know what I mean. But yeah, good catchy rocker. Give a Little, is that the next one? Yeah, Give a Little. As a good chanted chorus, like what they would use back in the sort of midsection of the band. Good chuggy, sort of catchy chuggy riffs. I love the little quiet moment in the middle of that as well, with the from Bobby. That's the thing as well with Bobby. He is such a versatile vocalist. He doesn't get enough credit. He does a lot of different things with his voice, and he does a lot. He's a really good songwriter as well, and he can do a lot of. He throws a lot of different things in. And it's always in that little interlude section. I just spotted something behind me there. What was that? It's that bag. I was thinking, what the hell is that? No, it's a Sainsbury's bag. Anyway, sorry about the distraction. But yeah, it's in the little interlude parts, like when you go sort of verse, chorus, and then that little interlude part before we go to the last chorus. That's when Overkill get really interesting. That's where they really start, I suppose, all the, the bit where in that mid section of their career where they're always trying different things. They still do that, but they just do it then. They do the little experimenting in the songs and then keep them encased in the sort of thrash metal template. But yeah, it's a fantastic album. It's 57 minutes. So it's an hour-long album, but it's never self-indulgent. The songs don't actually outstay their welcome, even though the songs are quite long. I mean, look, if I said, look, I'm going to give you a metal album, it's an hour long, and, the average song length is about 6 minutes, and the opener's over 8, you'd be forgiven by thinking, oh, what is it going to be, like a prog album or something like that? Oh, no, it's a thrash metal album, Overkill. No one ever... And it's not an unusual thing, their albums tend to be over an hour long. Not over an hour. Around an hour long. Don't know what's happened to my throat tonight. Sorry. and they don't rush their songs. Some of their songs can be quite long in thrash metal standards, but they never seem it. They never, they pack a lot into their songs, but it's all worthwhile. It all needs to be there. But yeah, as long as this album is, it's perfectly paced. So if a song's got a bit of a buildy uppy intro bit or a thing, the next one will hit the ground running and it'll be fast. The sequence of the songs in the order that they are is plays perfectly. It's an effortless album. But yeah, a perfect album that brings together all that's worked so far, but they've dropped what hasn't, and yeah, this sets a new standard, and this is their Brave New World. Moving on, we've got just two. Look, this was 2010, by the way, and then 2002, consistent as always. Overkill, they've never messed about. We got the Electric Age. This is the special edition. I did just have a standard edition like this one, and I won this on eBay for like £6. So I sold my other copy and kept this. This one comes with a DVD. It's all good actually. I mean, I wouldn't go out of your way to get it, but like I say, I was messing about on eBay one night and put in a bid and see what happened. Yeah, a few days later, I completely forgot about it. It turned out I won. You get a DVD of like them in the studio, and then it says here Blitz's commentary, and what I thought that would be like them playing the album and Blitz comment, like when you get a commentary on a film or something. Excuse me, because I have heard like album commentaries as well. They're not quite as common as movie commentaries, but yeah, album commentaries are about. And I thought, that's what, but it's not. It's just an interview with Blitz, and it's a good interview. Yeah, I mean, yeah, a little bit eerie sort of points. Tells you a little bit about the songs, but it's not like he goes track by track or anything like that. So yeah, but the it's cool. It's worth having. It's worth a watch. I'm pretty sure you'll find it on YouTube or something like that. But yeah, pretty much picks up where the last album left off. It hits the ground running. Come and Get It. Another great, fantastic opener. Sets the scene really. Electric Rattlesnake, fantastic. And Good Night. Is there another one? Good Night. Is there a Good Night? Can't remember. Wish You Were Dead is on there. Oh, Good Night is the closing track. Sorry. Yeah, but it opens with 3 classic tracks. Come and Get It, Electric Rattlesnake, Wish You Were Dead. But again, this is just as good a listen as this. In fact, where this album as a whole is 7 minutes shorter, it kind of... Yeah, it might have... I was starting to think, actually, because I've always held Ironbound in quite high regard. And it does get quite it's got a pretty big reputation, which I think is mainly down to Cover Killer Nation. Because he ranted about that, he raved about the album for years. But having a re-listen for this, I think I'm starting to think this might have an edge over it. But... yeah, if one's 9.5, if one's 10 out of 10, the other one's 9.5 or something like that. It's neck and neck. If putting these two albums together, whoever wins, it would be on points, But again, not stopping for breath. Another 2 years later, 2014, we have White Devil Armory. This is pretty long one as well, actually, because you get 2 bonus tracks on it, which are worth getting, actually. If you can still get it, I would get the bonus track edition. The 2 extra songs are pretty good. I'm just catching up here. So 50 minutes is the standard time, but with the bonus tracks, you get, I think probably about another extra 10 minutes, actually. I think This album with the bonus tracks is bang on an hour, and pretty much like the last 2. You this is the thing now. It is not really. This isn't a sort of retrospective where I can talk about the evolution of sound or something like that. We've gone through that already with Overkill. Now, at this point in Overkill's career, Overkill know what they're good at, and they know what works and what doesn't. And if they do experiment, for want of a better phrase, they know whether or not it's going to work or not. I think so. You're only going to hear what's worked. You know, if they get some funny idea, they're going to go no. They're experienced. They know what they're doing. But Armor, you get like a little intro track, and then it goes into Armorists. Again, hitting the ground running. Great opener. Yeah, they're all consistent. It's all very good. It's, you know, I don't want to say they're making the same album again, but they're making an Overkill album, and an Overkill album is what you've come to expect. It's what you know what you're gonna get, and the surprises and whatnot you get are all welcome as well, and they all work. But and a highlight for me is Pig. That's a real, you know, stomping track. In the Name, the closer, Bobby does a great. He does this great like, whoa, whoa, like he holds this note. Well, it doesn't hold the note, but he does like this whoa whoa medley. But he goes really high with it and keeps the notes up there, and it's just like fucking hell. He is an awesome vocalist. It's got to be said. But yeah, this is worth getting the bonus tracks as well. You've got one of them's a cover. Yeah, Miss Misery is a Nazareth cover. And the other one, Fight Song, is worth getting as well. But yeah, just another great album in the canon, really. It really is as simple as that. Up next, we've got the Grinding Wheel in 2017. One thing of note with this album is that this will be the last album with drummer Ron Lipnicki. I think I pronounced that right. But yep, and another great album. Last one with Ron on drums, and what a run he's had. You know, like, what's he done? 5 albums with him. I think he joined on Immortalis. I was struggling to pronounce that properly on the last one, wasn't I? Immortalis, Ironbound, Electric Age, White Devil Armory, and Grinding Wheel. So yeah, a 5 album run with the band. That's not to be that's not to be sniffed at in the slightest, is it? But yeah, and again, here we are. Goddamn Trouble, Never Gonna Stop, great song, mixed by Andy Sneap, by the way. This one, yeah, Goddamn Trouble, yeah, I'm never gonna stop. Goddamn Trouble, yeah, I'm never gonna stop. Yeah, brilliant. They got like a real sort of working. You kind of just, you always get the thing with Overkill. It's like they've all been working on a site all day. They're all like labourers or builders or, you know, electricians or welders, truck drivers maybe, and they all had a shit day at work and come together at night and blast out an album. That's Overkill, you know, work with me. They feel like workers, you know. That's pretty much what all their songs are about as well. It's all just all, you know, we're in this shit together. Let's just laugh about it because there's fuck all we can do. That's pretty much the whole attitude of their overall lyrical concept. Shine On has this real cool dark part in the middle. It's kind of again slows down a bit, and, you know, fucking Overkill know when to go dark and atmospheric, and they do know when to go. They bit like Bon Scott with AC/DC. They deliver with a nod and a wink but they never went full on comedy like some other thrash metal bands. That when you mention that they go comedy, they deny it, but they did. But so I won't say it, but you know the bands. But let's all go to Hades. Yeah, fantastic song. Let's all go to Hades. Da, 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 da. Yeah, catchy as hell. You know, that vocal melody just rings in your head for days. And same goes for Come Heavy. I like the what was it? I'll have to look at the lyrics now. I like the side of the setting sun. I like the da 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 da. Come heavy. I don't come at all. Yeah, was it the I like the feeling of the morning sun. I like the rain on my face in the fall. I come heavy, not to be outdone. Come heavy or don't come at all, But yeah, it's real good, catchier songs on this one in terms of the vocal melodies. More like sort of sing-along parts. And then, Come Heavy as well, towards the second part of the song. It's a great rocking track, but there's a real sort of Sabbathy sort of bounce to it, like a doom, that sort of thing. But then at the end of the track as well, the grinding wheel, the closing track, it closes with like orchestration, like it goes into like a full orchestra at the end, and like it's real fucking, because it builds up, and then you get the strings. And again, Overkill kind of get this reputation of sort of being a straight ahead sort of what you see is what you get thing, but no, they can mix it up and be as versatile as the next band. And this Digipack copy as well, edition, that's the word I'm looking for, finishes with cover of Emerald by Thin Lizzy. And as you know, regular viewers on this, we love Thin Lizzy on this channel. Up next, I've got to get this in the right order. Right, so next up, we've got a live album. Live in Overhausen. It comes as a Blu-ray or DVD with a CD. I think the CD's on 2 parts. Yeah, you get 2 CDs and a Blu-ray on this one, but I think it came as a DVD as well. Essential. Awesome. I've had the audio in my ears at the gym, and it's, kept me going. And I've watched the Blu-ray as well. It's great. There's an hilarious part as well where they balls a song up, and they even point it out that comes over like, watch as such and such balls up the thing, and then as it says it, it's brilliant because you see like Bobby just sort of look over, what was that, and then they all start laughing. The whole song comes, brilliant. How often would a band point out they ballsed up a song? So what's special about this one though is that they do Horoscope in full, and straight afterwards, so the same night, one long ass show, they do Feel the Fire in full as well. So 2 albums in full, back to back, and they even do Fuck You at the end. 21 songs in total, so a marathon set. Well worth getting. Essential. And then up next, so Ron had left. At this point, Ron wasn't in the band, but they were leaving the door open, basically. So on this, is actually I think it was their roadie or something that just stepped in and did drums. Let me look the guy's name up. I'm sure he's part of their road crew, something like that. And it's like, fucking hell, like if that's just your road crew that's just stepping in and drumming like that, let's have a quick look. Yeah, the guy's name is Eddie Garcia. Drums on this, and does a fantastic job. I've lost my place now. Bear with me 1 second. So when was this? This was 2018. And then 2019, we get The Wings of War. And this is the first album with Jason Bittner on drums. Jason Bittner came to fame in Shadows Fall. I've got another one of their albums somewhere. One of the guitarists in them went on to join Anthrax as well. Shadows Fall all split and went on to do well. I think they're very full now as well. I think they're doing a few festivals this year. I don't know and I saw something that they're working on new music. But yeah, he did Overkill. No, it was his Shadows Fall. He also did a couple of albums with Flotsam and Jetsam, and then jumped ship to Overkill. And he fits the band like a glove. He seamlessly settles into his role. I saw them on this tour as well, so I saw them with Jason, and he absolutely killed it. And same again, really. It's not really much to talk about in terms of evolution of sound or something like that. It's just, again, Overkill doing doing what you want them to do, you know. Last Man Standing, great song. Believe in the Fight, great. Really good one is Welcome to the Garden State, which obviously a love song to their hometown, New Jersey, and really good. The outro of the song where they just meld in the whoa from at the end of Thunder Road by Bruce Springsteen works very well. What's really cool as well was the song after that, where A Few Dare to Walk, quite a dark number, kind of cool and atmospheric. But yeah, Hole in My Soul's a really good closer. And yeah, this particular edition comes with a bonus song in Ashes, which is worth picking up as well. Yeah, I'm losing, not really sure what to say, because it's like I'm just repeating myself. It's Overkill doing what they're good at. So then, I think the longest gap the band ever had, obviously the shit show kicked off. And so yeah, this was in 2019. And then 2023, we get Scorched. I did an unboxing of this and an initial review when it came out. I listened to it again yesterday and again today, just to get reacquainted. And this album's, yeah, it's still sticking with me. Sometimes, you know, you get a little bit excited when a new album comes out and it kind of wears off after a while. I started seeing loads of great reviews when it came out, but then a little while afterwards I saw people slagging it off. I thought, oh, well, maybe I was a bit too excited. Maybe. No, this is a great, fantastic album. And every song on it is brilliant. It flows great. Scorched, I think, is a fantastic opener. I love that riff at the beginning. Going Home, fucking fantastic. Fever is the dark, sort of moody one, which I think is really good. I can't remember. Is it Won't Be Coming Back or Wicked Place? The DOE kind of one. But that's really good. Twist of the Wick's really good. You know, The Surgeon's really good. Harder They Fall is, you know, the typical sort of street fighting, hardcore flavoured one. But no, and that Bag of Bones is a really good fun closer. Yeah, it's just fantastic. It's yeah, so here we go. I've worked through this pile of CDs. We're up to the present day. Yeah, this was the stamp, you know, the new standard setter. This is the standard that we're working against from now on, you know. Every so often a band comes out with a, yeah, this one's good, this might be a classic, this is the thing, this is what we're setting ourselves to, but this is what we're setting ourselves to from now on. And yeah, some albums are better than others, but there's no stinkers here. And yeah, they've upheld that standard ever since. I think Electric Age kind of holds up to it. But I think the Grinding Wheel does as well. I think that certainly challenges it. I think. I'm trying to figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Out of the 6 albums, I think these 4 are all great. But these 2, far from stinkers. These are really good as well. I think I prefer them 4 to these 2, but these I've got nothing wrong with them whatsoever. And this live album is, yeah, definitely essential for Overkill fans. And yeah, that's it. That's the retrospective done. I would say, if you are new to Overkill and you're not sure where to go, where to start, I would say, yeah, I'm pretty well. I think Scorched, funny enough, is just as good a place to start as any. If you're new to Overkill, start with that. But if you want to dig deep, if you really want to do your own work, I would say, right, you need your first 5. You definitely need the first 5 albums. But I would say, start with them 2. I would say, yeah, this is like AC/DC, Highway to Hell and Back in Black. It's like the end and the start of different eras. So start with them 2. then get them two. Then get Scorched, and then fill the gaps from there. That would be my my buying guide to Overkill. When it comes to live albums, there's a few different live albums shooting about. Most of them are like bonus discs with albums and whatnot. There was a horoscope video, but I think that was music videos as well as performances. But from what you can get today and not spending a fortune, both of these are fantastic. Can't go wrong with either of them. Both are great. Just, yeah, that's probably slightly got the edge over it because you got Horoscope and Feel the Fire in full. So if either one of them are like your favourite album or something like that. But then that's a really good sort of career spanning set up to the time at least. 10-year anniversary. Brilliant. And yeah, that's like a marathon set as well. And they're on fine form. But yeah, from 2010 onwards, Overkill on a bad day, most bands can't even, dream to get that good. I would love, as a failed musician, I would love to put out an album as good as Overkill's worst. You can't. No, I've got nothing but respect for them. They're one of the hardest working bands out there, and yeah, they generally. Sometimes in life, as I said on my Scorch review, sometimes, especially now, you just want someone. You just want a band that's reliable, and they don't come more reliable than Overkill. And this live and post 2010 material, they're far better than that other band that is selling out parks. And yeah, there's no justice in the world, basically. Overkill should be millionaires. But then again, if they were millionaires, they probably wouldn't be as good as they are, because the other millionaires aren't. Yeah, you know what I'm getting at. I don't really know how to finish these things. Anyway, right, thanks for watching. We got to the end of the retrospective. I've got part 2 of the Depeche Mode coming up. I've got a special guest coming on. A regular guest. He's been on before. You all know who he is. I might as well tell you. Uncle Frank is making a return. And we're going to be doing Deceased. Who else? I'm trying to get Jackie Smith on board, actually, from Into the Necrosphere. And we're going to be doing Napalm Death. That's what we're talking about. And that's going to be a multi-parter as well. And I've got a series, a bit like Maiden Cast, where we did an album a week with a different host. And we're going to be doing a Rush catalogue as well at some point. Every Friday we'll have a Rush album, and then that'll be a regular thing going forward as well. Plus the usual reviews of all the stuff that's coming out. So yeah, it's all good. Plenty of content coming. Thanks for watching, as always. If this is your first video, welcome aboard. Feel free to have a look around. I've started putting playlists together as well, so you can sort of navigate a bit easier if I've made multiple videos on certain bands. And check out the Overkill playlist as well. So if this is your first one, go watch part 1 and part 2. And yes, with that, I shall leave you and wish you a fond farewell. All the best. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you all soon. Goodbye.